Hello there, my name is APuzzledSlime and welcome back to another episode from the HomeSMP. In today's episode, we are going to be tackling a long overdue project of updating and creating a proper bank for HomeSMP where we can come up with a bunch of tasks for people to get rich with their home coins. So without further ado, let's jump into it. In the previous episode, we went ahead and built all of this incredible garden. We built these massive, great big leafy plants and a bunch of beautiful flowers. We added a bunch of extra grass and everything, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I am so proud of this, and I definitely want to be coming back here to do a little bit more work. I've been noticing some weird noises coming from the bushes, so we're probably going to have to investigate that, but that'll have to wait for another episode because we've got something super exciting to do today. We are going to be working on the bank. But before we jump into that, I just want to say that at the start of this episode, I'd been experimenting with a bunch of different shaders. I'll be flicking back and forth between shaders and no shaders. I have decided that I'm not going to bother using any, so just want to warn you now. And I've also been messing around with some Texturepacks stuff, so super exciting. If you want to know a little bit more about that and how you can get your hands on some of my Texturepacks, make sure to stick around and watch the rest of the episode. So let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Go. Okay, we need to address something that I have been ignoring for a little while, and it's quite an important thing. And that thing is right over here. So if you look back at, I think episode 2 or 3, I built this temporary bank so that we could have a way to distribute some of the home coins into the economy. And it worked out really great. However, it's now kind of growing a little bit too big for itself, and I haven't updated it in a very long time. As you can see here, we still got stuff to do with the XP farm competition. So I think in this episode, we should tackle this and design and create a new bank. Lucky for us, I already have a spot picked out. So if we fly just past the shopping district, there is actually an island over here, which we have kind of coined as our kind of legal area. You could say Slumpard went ahead and built a courtroom, which is really cool and really exciting. And I've marked out this area for our bank. So I think we should probably head over to a creative world and maybe start designing this. Okay, so here we are in my flat creative testing world, and I've just taken a Litematica copy of the island and brought it over so we can kind of work out how much space we're really playing with. So to begin with, I started to look up some references of some bank buildings because I kind of wanted to go for that kind of like very grand looking building, but they're often quite kind of like basic in color, you know, some gray, maybe a bit of limestone and things like that. So we'll play around with texture and shape and things. I think we just need to start with putting in the foundation and shape. Okay, so I thought I'd bring you back in now because I feel like I've got a kind of general shape that I'm pretty happy with. It turned out to be a little bit difficult. I ended up swapping it over to this side just because you will enter from here, and it was very much blocking the courthouse, and I felt like I wanted to show off Slump's build. So therefore I mirrored it over to this side and actually removed the side entrances and only gave it that first one. So what we'll end up doing is probably removing this path and just adding one, you know, leading up to the main entrance. But this is where I'm at so far. I quite like it. However, I'm about to do the tricky bit, which is the roof. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do this, but let's try and figure it out. I do feel like we could get away with maybe like it at an angle. Bring it up 3 and then maybe send it back. I don't want to go completely to a point. However, I feel like this could work, you know. Got to use the smear tool, bring it over this side, and then link it up over here. What do I want to do up here? Because I imagined that this area was going to be the sign, but maybe it needs to be extended or moved. Okay, I prefer this join. However, this from the front now looks way too disproportionate. Okay, so that looks a little bit more proportionate. I wonder if we can still get one to stick out slightly or stick up a little bit more. I want it to kind of be one higher. That's not horrendous. Let's go even one higher. Would this look crazy one higher? I want the perspective to work. I want everything to feel quite large down here and then it gets smaller up at the top. However, we're kind of getting to the point where things are getting quite large. Maybe this will be okay at this height. So if we remove this top layer and just take that straight across. Oh, forgot one. Okay, that is now very flat. So actually by having this 4 high, it would allow us to put banners along here. So actually maybe that's worked out pretty well. And all we have to do is probably just increase the height of this bottom plane. Now kind of around the same height. I don't want to make it look really small. I don't want the court to look tiny, so I do want to be careful there. Okay, so that would extend the stairs out to there. So maybe what we could do is also just add another layer here. Give it even more depth. Or even if we bring it out 2, we could have a little flower box or something. Part of me also wants to kind of bring this out. Okay, maybe that was a bit too much. You know what? I'm not against that. Okay, I'm happy with the shape for now. I think once we start adding more detail with stairs and color and things like that, we can start working it out a little bit more. This area definitely needs a little bit more work, but we'll figure that out once we get to texturing. Okay, so I started to play around with a bit of a block palette. As you can see, it's mostly grey. Probably going to focus a lot more around the stone area, using cobblestone and mossy cobble as a little bit of color variant, highlights with the light grey wool, shadows with the tough, and maybe some detail with the tough blocks. Again, with the stone bricks, I think the palette will blend quite well. We'll also be using some light grey terracotta, again, similarly as the mossy cobble, to add a little bit of color variation so it's not all the same. Then I really want to use some of this waxed weathered cut copper for the roof. As we've kind of got the angled roof, I think it would look really nice to have kind of copper, make it feel a little bit more expensive as a bank probably would be. So I think let's start texturing. Holy cow, I'm luminous. Jesus Christ, I'm the sun. Okay, so I've brought you back because I've started texturing. However, I'm conscious that it kind of looks like a jungle temple more than a bank, and I'm just going to try and see if we can fix it. I think some of the problem is that it sticks out too far back here, down at the bottom, kind of creating that kind of Aztec stair going up. So I think if we kind of remove these slightly, pushing them back might help. Okay, I feel like that's definitely helped it a tad. I still think it's too top heavy. The top just feels way out of proportion. So let's try moving it up one more. Okay, there we go. Now to get up. Perhaps the entrance is too high. What if we brought the whole thing down? Okay, I actually feel like that has worked. However, I definitely preferred the previous way, but this feels more like a bank because you're kind of accessing street level rather than going up. I did create a couple staircases over this way because I reckon I'll probably add access or extra access to these kind of wing areas. No idea what will be in them, but we'll figure that out down the line. We could add something in the back here as well. I think that would look quite cute. Maybe some glazed terracotta or something like that. Well, I think I'm pretty happy with the way that this is going so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to continue texturing and probably doing the interior off camera. And I'll bring you back on the HomeSMP server so we can build it and then do a kind of big reveal of the final product. Once I got back onto the server, I started to collect all of my resources. Starting with copper because I knew I was going to need a lot of it and it was going to need time to weather. So I crafted it all up, smelted it and placed it down underground to age. Then just started to gather a lot of the other blocks, mainly stone to begin with. Just collecting, putting in the shulker box, collecting, crafting, you know how it goes. And everything was going pretty well. I even stopped by the shopping district to collect some more wood and even traded with a bunch of villagers to get a bunch of bookcases before things took a turn. I went down to go check on my copper where I was surprised a lot of it had actually aged. So I brought it back up and put it into the stone cutter, collecting all my cut copper until I realized I need almost 2 stacks of weather trapdoors and you can't craft them from the full blocks. I had a little bit of a mini breakdown. However, all was not lost as there was a copper shop over in the shopping district. So I flew on over there and had a look through the shop. Of course, they don't sell trapdoors. So I had just another little breakdown. I flew back to my base and broke down a bunch of copper ore before smelting it again, crafting it into trapdoors and placing it down in the basement to age. While that was happening, I decided just to grab all of the other blocks that I needed. Most annoyingly, a lot of the quartz for the interior. Okay, and we're back after that insane resource gathering montage. That took me almost 2 hours, all because of these stupid trapdoors. Actually, no, give them back. They're quite important. But with that, this is all of the resources that we're going to need in order to build the bank. So I think we should just go and grab all of these and head over to the shopping district. Okay, and now we're over here in the legal district, and first things first, before we build the bank, I think I actually need to do a little bit of terraforming because I need to kind of push this riverbank out a little bit, fill out some areas over here just so we have a little bit of a nicer ground to build our bank on top of. So let's go ahead and start with that. Okay, and there we have it. We have it all smoothed out and the river has been pushed back a little bit, made a little bit thinner so that I can squeeze the building up right up to the water's edge. And yeah, it just generally looks a lot nicer. So now we are ready to actually build the whole bank on top. I think I'm going to start off with the outsides and then do the interior towards the end. So without further ado, let's get building. Okay, and welcome back everybody. As you saw from the time lapse, we managed to get the whole bank built, the exterior and the interior, and even just a little bit of decorating on the outside. So let's take a look. As you can see here, this is the bank in all of its glory. I am so happy with this build. I love the texturing that I've done. I love all the stone variants, the tuff, the cobble, the andesite and everything like that. And even the banner along the top, as you can see up there, the home bank. I absolutely love it. I ended up creating just a little image, like a PNG image on Photoshop, and brought that in using the URL painting sign, which allows us to kind of have images brought into the server. So I thought it'd be really fun to use that as the main sign for the bank. And yeah, I love the font. I think it works so well with the bank, like the theme and the vibe and everything. And yeah, I absolutely love it. But as you saw from the timelapse, we did do a little bit of decorating. I added some leaves and things around the edge. And I also decided to add that little bit of extra stuff around the bank. As you can see here, we've got kind of like a fire escape or a service access ladder that you can get. Well, technically you can't actually get up a bit because it's chains, but you know, it's decoration, it's decoration. And then I built these two kind of like big bins out the back with some rubbish bags and cardboard boxes and a little bit of grime and grubbiness and everything. There's also a few kind of aircon units. If we actually also head up to the roof, oh, my elytra is low. Let's hope I don't fall and die. That would be bad, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So up here at the top of the fire escape or the service access, you can come up onto the roof, and we've just got a bunch of random little machineries and things. I don't really know what to build, but I thought some antennas, maybe some cooling units and things like that. And then this kind of big thing, no idea what it is, but I thought it looked cool, so I built it. And there's some smoke coming out. I don't know, some sort of ventilation extraction thing. Don't ask me why it's here, but I think it works so cool, and I think it really adds to the ambiance of just this really cool, beautiful, old historic building that's just kind of been modernized for kind of urban and living. And there's all this just kind of like metal work and things, and I think it looks very, very cool. I probably should add the safety rail along here. This just obviously is up at the front, in front of the bank. So let's head in and I can show you the interior. So if you head through the main double doors, you've got the main interior, which I am obsessed with. I really, really wanted to go for that kind of old like 90s bank style vibe. But we've got some nice kind of hanging plants, some big windows with shutters, these beautiful kind of like chandelier lighting things coming down, where they even use like the base of, what are they called, you know, those smithing tables, I think they are the base of the smithing tables, with a bit of terracotta and nether brick. And we've kind of got the main reception area. I guess when you come into a bank, you might kind of approach the person at the cleric at the desk. I want to get a couple villagers in here. As you can see, I've put a couple lecterns here, and so they can have that kind of like librarian texture. Maybe I'll create a custom texture for a bank villager. I'm not really sure. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would love to see. I'm punching something. What a horrible sound that makes. Anyway, underneath you've got, this is where we'll put all of our player heads so people can claim their tasks. And we've got, like I said, there's a bunch of hanging plants, a few paintings, and these on the sides, these barrels and these signs will indicate all of the tasks that the other players can do. So the way that the tasks work is that you had the basic tasks, and these were super quick, simple tasks. If you needed to get some money quick, you would run in, come and do a task that would take maybe 5 to 10 minutes on stream or something like that, collect your home coins, and then you would be on your way and be able to go buy some resources from the shopping district. So here we have the basic tasks, a bunch of chests. I've not actually put anything in them yet. The signs will indicate what's in them. On the other side, we have the standard tasks. These are a little bit more complex and therefore a little bit more rewarded. So for example, previously we used these to build shops or set up nether portals or things like that, things that take a little bit more time. The reward was higher, so therefore the payoff was better, and the work that you put in felt a lot nicer. So again, we have all the barrels along the bottom where we can put in a bunch of book and quills. If you come along to the back wall, we have a variety of different things. So in the center, we have premium tasks. Now, premium tasks were the big one. These were the ones that would take a very, very long time, but the reward for them was really, really high. So you could get quite a few stacks of home coins from doing these tasks. So they were a lot more complicated, but you would definitely get paid a lot more for these. So they definitely were worth it. But this is where we'll have our future premium tasks. We don't often have a lot of these, hence why we only have 3 barrels along the bottom. bottom. Now, either side of them, I have decided to put a couple kind of like written boards. So on the left, we have a task board. So if there is anything that's needing to do any sign up forms or anything like that in order to complete a task, this can be done on the left hand side in these signs. So previously for the XP farm competition, which was a premium task, we had players sign up into teams in order to build the best XP farm on the server. So if we do something like that again and we need teams or anything for people to sign up, this is where that will happen. On the other side though, we have a community board. This is just going to be a little area for everyone on the server if they want to put, I don't know, a poster up or put a call out for materials or maybe put a hit on another player. I don't know, whatever it could be used for. It's a community board. They can do whatever they want here. Now down here is actually blocked off at the moment because I haven't actually gone and created the basement yet, because that is where the big vault is going to be, and maybe even possibly some safety deposit boxes so people can put some of their safe keep treasure items inside of them. But I haven't got around to doing that because this has taken a lot of work already, and I really wanted to get this episode out for you. I've got a couple beds here that act as like little, I don't know, little like perching stools. This is just so that you can sleep the night away and you don't have to worry about mobs coming. But I choose armor stands to put this white carpet on top of a bed so that it covers the pillow texture, and I think it looks really cute. I think it's quite fun. Yeah, this is the main area, but as you can see, there's a couple windows either side. So why don't we take a little look up there? If we head over up this way, we actually have the west wing, which, wait. Oh no, I've done it. Oh God. Oh God. I've done it. Okay, this actually faces east. I put the signs on the wrong way. This is supposed to be the east. Oh God, this is supposed to be the east wing. I'll fix it afterwards. But on the east wing, we have a little room here that will act as a little meeting room for the server. I doubt there'll be any kind of in-game meetings here, but this is just a fun little spot for when we have our behind the scenes HomeSMP meetings. We can just pop in here and come and have our meeting. So I've done quite a little bit of decoration in here, as you can see. Got a nice table in the middle and a bunch of chairs around the outside, a bookcase at the back just full of random junk, same lighting as outside, and some paintings and some coat racks, some plants and stuff. And then on the table you might see something that looks quite different. So that is a book, and that is a book and quill. But what I've done is that I've actually created a custom texture pack to create 3D books. I've done this so that I can kind of decorate a little bit more with armor stands, because I've really fallen in love with using them for decoration, and I think it looks a lot nicer when you can have these kind of like stacked little books. If you are wondering, this texture pack will eventually go on my Patreon. Yes, you're hearing that right. I have set up a Patreon. I wanted to set one up because I've created quite a few different texture packs and other assets that I actually wanted to share with you all. So I've already added 3 of my own texture packs, the bat and axolotl hats from the Harvest Festival, as well as a cowboy hat I made last year. These are available for purchase, however they are actually free for certain tiered memberships. I've gone ahead and created 5 tiers so that if you want to support the channel and help me to continue to make videos, you can sign up for as little as $1. Each tier comes with its own benefits, like for the $5 you get access to the hat texture packs for free, and at $10 I'll actually create a custom GUI texture pack for you that will be named after you. Just like this one I've done for my first ever supporter Odin, who has this custom pink hearts and XP bar, which is actually to download for free right now. But I'm not done. I'm going to do a special offer for the first 10 people to sign up to the $5 tier. Each of you will get your own colored GUI texture pack that's named after you. So you better get in quick. I also plan to upload some of my build schematics too, so if you want to build Jeffrey the Snail, my large leafy plants, and even this bank for yourself, you can purchase them on here too. The link to my Patreon will be down in the comments and on my Linktree, so make sure to check them out. Anyway, back to the game. So yeah, I've just done a little bit of decorating, stacking some books, having the book and quill open, and I think it just adds really nice. Maybe it's typical as a little cup or something. So this is the east wing, even though it says the west wing. It's fine. So if we head over to the other side, we actually have my office. So on the west wing, this is my office. I am the director of finance. I thought that sounded quite fun and official and makes me sound really smart. But we have a little bell. So you can ring, you know, if I ever need any meetings and people want to come and have a look, you got to ring the bell, bing, and then you can come in. And I'm very, very, very happy with this interior. I think this is one of my favorite interiors I have ever done. I have done quite a lot of work with armor stands, as you can probably tell, but I think it looks absolutely incredible. So as you first walk in, we've got my desk along the middle with a nice big plant and a couple of seats. So in case anybody needs to come and have a meeting, they can come and sit and we can have a little chat. A couple coat racks here. And over on the right, we have a filing cabinet where I have a drawer pulled out and just a random little bit of paper there. On this side, we have another kind of like box with one of the trophies from the XP farm competition. I didn't actually win this. It's like a dummy trophy, but I thought it would be very cool to have in here. There was something that needed to be in this spot, and I thought that would work really well. But if we come around the back of the desk, you can see my chair here, the higher back chair, which obviously means that you're more important than the others, right? You see, these are only 1 block height, whereas mine's 2 block height. So that means I'm very, 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 very important. But I can come here, take some notes in my little drawing pad, take a sip of my sea pickle. Yeah, over here I have a little tiny fish tank. I decided to create a little fish tank, and I love it. It's so cute. It just uses a cauldron, a glass block, and then a trapdoor. And then inside I used an armor stand with blue glass to create this kind of water look. And then the tiny little clownfish. I think that's a clownfish. Fish. Clownfish. But he does need a name. He does need a little name. I feel like we've got to name our little fish. So make sure to put some suggestions down in the comments, and I will try and name it next episode. I don't know, maybe something money related or something like that. I don't know. Well, whatever you come up with, I'll pick the one I like the most. And then behind, we've just got a big bookcase where I've done some more piling up of the books. And like I said, I absolutely love this. This is all armor stand stuff. I even created up here a little globe. I changed my skin to have a world texture as my head, and then I got Hyken to kill me to drop the head, and I've kind of put it on top of this little block, and I think it looks like a little spinning globe, and it's really cute, and I really like it. Little hanging plant. And then actually over here, this is something we have had on the server. This is not something I have done. This is actually the home coins that we use. However, they're more of like a display home coin. They're not a real home coin because they are actually, in fact, candles. So candles have a very interesting mechanic in the game that they are based on JSON files, and you are able to overwrite them, which is what Happy Stunt actually did. He came up with the idea of replacing candles. And what's unique about candles is that you can place more than one, like sea pickles, in a single block. And what that allows you to do is to have multiple models for the different number of candles in a block. So this is 2. If we had another one, we could add a 3rd one, and then a 4th one, and then you're able to create these really big tall stacks of money and stuff, which maybe we'll have maybe down the road. We are a bank after all. We've got to have like big stacks of money. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I thought it'd be a fun little thing. But yeah, I absolutely adore this area and my office. I'm definitely going to spend a lot of time here, just kind of sat here. I don't know why. I might just end up sitting here and just AFK. I think it's just beautiful and absolutely love it. But yeah, I think it's now time to actually work on populating some of our tasks. It's been a little while since I've added any new tasks, so we're going to take a slightly different approach to the way that we do it now, because we are about halfway through the season. Each season tends to last about a year, so we're about 6 months in, and previously we were using tasks to help the community by creating infrastructure. You would get home coins by building shops or adding lighting around the spawn area to make it safe. Just tiny little tasks or little things that would improve the server overall, just to give the kind of incentive for those little boring tasks. But now we are a little bit further into the season. A lot of the infrastructure has been created. We've got bridges, we've got paths, we've got lights set up, we've got lots of shops. So the way that we're going to do this is that we're going to approach this with a little bit more of a reward-based system. They're still going to be counted as tasks, but they're going to be a little bit more fun. I want these to be something that players, if they're not really sure what they want to do on stream and they're struggling for things, they can come over here and find these very silly little things to do and occupy their time. I'm not going to explain them all on camera because I'm going to have to write them all out and everything, but just to give it a little example, I'm thinking creating a HomeSMP newsletter perhaps. Everybody has mailboxes, so maybe we can get delivered some fun events that are happening on the server. Maybe some other fun things like creating I don't know, maybe something like a pyramid scheme or a game of like hot potato, probably some pranks, and then some of the reward-based ones. I think stuff like maybe to do with the advancements, maybe the bullseye one, or even the crazy how do we get the here advancement. That could be a very good one to do. Maybe gathering some fun unique mobs that don't spawn naturally, you know, all these kind of things. But I I want your help with this because I have all of these barrels to start populating, and I want to continue populating and adding to these on a semi-regular basis. So I want some suggestions from you. If you could think of any sort of task or reward that players could do on the server that either they could do themselves or to another player. I'm raising my eyebrows right now. Use your imagination, guys. Come on. But yeah, something fun like collecting blocks or collecting mobs, doing certain advancements, achievements, maybe getting players to do things to other people. But yeah, if you have any ideas, make sure to drop them in the comments and I will make sure to credit you inside the book. But yeah, that's where we're going to end the episode today. I am going to do a lot of work between episodes and get a lot of the books written from my own list and then also some from your comments. I hope you've all enjoyed. This has been an absolutely incredible episode. What we've built today is absolutely insane. I'm so happy with this and I'm very proud of the interior. I think next episode, what we're going to do is start working on the vault and some of those safety deposit boxes. I think we'll start working on everything under there, as well as we may have something to do with this building here. I may have been sued, but that will all be coming up in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is APuzzledSlime and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.